Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And the RS3 wins, which means in today's video, guys, we are fitting a Mechatronics to my DK 500 gearbox on my Audi RS3. So, it's been a while, so she might not start. She's been sat there for a couple of weeks, so fingers crossed she starts and let's get her in the workshop. Absolutely as bright as a button. So who's missed the sound of that 5-cylinder noise on my channel? Because I certainly have. So in today's video we are replacing the faulty Mechatronics unit on my DK 500 box. For those of you who already seen the video and you know why the car was broken down, you will know why we're replacing it. But if you haven't and you're new to the channel and you haven't seen why my RS3 broke down, click on the top corner, go back and click the video with my RS3 breaking down. And once you've watched that, you'll be up to date and know why we are here. So we've just got up the ramp. I've had my new Mechatronics for a couple of months now, sat in the corner, but obviously we were working on the B8, so we didn't have time to do it, but we finally got time to do it. Bit of a confession, I was going to start on the Boxster GTS today, however, I just haven't had time this week, and the RS3 is going to be the, let's be honest, it's going to be the easiest thing to do at the moment. I'm hoping it should be a fairly simple fix to get this back on the road. I've never actually fitted a Mechatronics before, so don't quote me on that. I'm hoping the procedure is going to be fairly straightforward. It's going to be obviously get it on the ramp, get it in the air. We're going to be draining the gearbox oil fluid, take the casing off for the Mechatronics, and I'm hoping it's just a simple case of unbolting the Mechatronics, unbolting the electricals from the gearbox, sliding the old unit out, sliding the new one in, getting it back down on the ground. I'm not sure if it needs coding or not, so what I'm going to do is just copy the coding from the gearbox at the moment, just so I've got a backup, so if the new one does need coding, I know exactly what to code it to. The only thing that might mess this up is I need a gearbox filler tool for this, because you actually fill the gearbox fluid up through the drain bung. There's basically like a little sleeve that fits inside the gearbox, and that sleeve is the oil level indicator. So once you put that back in, once you've drained the fluid, you need to refill the gearbox fluid through that drain bung, and there's a special tool that you need, and I don't have it. I've ordered one. I'm hoping it's going to be here tomorrow, fingers crossed. Well, you'll know whether it turned up in time, whether this video is going out Thursday or Friday. So without further ado, let's get it on the ramp, in the air, and start draining the gearbox. Got the car up in the air. I'm just going to show you what we're going to be dealing with. So this is obviously the gearbox, and the Mechatronics unit is behind here. Now, as I've just said, I've never done a Mechatronics before, but what we should be doing is draining our gearbox oil here. I think there's a little one for the Mechatronics as well to drain here. We have to remove boost pipe here, intercooler pipe. We'll have to remove some wiring out the way, look, which is on the bracket. And then I'm hoping it's going to be quite straightforward. Simple case of undo the 4 bolts, pull the pan off, and then I think it's just pull the Mechatronics out and put the new one in. I can't see any reason why it should be any harder than that. You know, the hard bit's going to be maybe removing this pipe. It might be a bit of a pain, but we'll give it a go. So now what I'm going to do is remove my airbox, because there are some connections on the top here. There's a coolant pipe that I need to move out of the way, which is under the airbox. So we'll be removing this, the airbox, and that should hopefully give us enough access to remove the coolant pipe and some other clips on top of the DSG, and also it'll give us more room to access our DSG filter, which is in there somewhere. I think it's just down in that gap, because what we're going to do is going to just undo that lid, just so the DSG old fluid can flow out a bit easier, a bit smoother, a bit quicker. Wow, that was a lot more painful than I wanted it to be. So I had to remove this hard pipe hose here, but I could not get it off. I need to obviously move it. I obviously need to move it that way to be able to get it off the bracket. But because I've got the upgraded hoses on, they're rock solid. So I just couldn't get enough leverage to go that way. So I've ended up having to take the whole front bumper off so I could get to the clip here, so I could then pull the hose off here and then pull the hose off to be able to then get the hard pipe off. I probably could have forced it, but these clips here, look, they look very brittle to me. So I knew if I'd have forced it, they'd have just snapped. I might have been savage. So yeah, unfortunately I had to take the whole bumper off to get that pipe off to get this hard pipe off. But now I've also taken the wheel arch line off, so we've got a lot more room. So I'm hoping now it's going to be plain sailing for the rest of the way. Fluid looks fairly fresh, and then up here, which is very annoying, there's a little 8mm, I believe it is, and just makes a complete mess. That just got to pull the little plastic sleeve out, which actually is your level indicator, and when I release this it will all come out. There we go. At the cost of completely covering my 8mm in fluid. So guys, while I'm waiting for the oil to drain, I'm going to go off and have some lunch, and today's lunch is Y Food. Y Food is a meal replacement drink or shake, or even a chocolate brownie. They're designed to be a meal replacement drink, not to be confused with a diet drink or a diet shake. They can replace any meal, breakfast, lunch or dinner. I really like them, and I use them for lunch mainly because I'm always in the workshop or out on the road, and I just don't like stopping during the day. It's a waste of time. So I have a Y Food to keep me going. They have around 500 calories in, so they do keep me full for between sort of like 3 or 4 hours. They contain all your macro and micronutrients, and they have 26 different vitamins and minerals in. If you haven't tried Y Food before, I recommend trying the starter pack. It's a good way to test out Y Food for yourself. All you've got to do is click the link in my description that takes you through to Y Food's page, and you add my discount code, which is Salvage10, for an extra 10% off, guys. So I'm going to drink my cold brew coffee, which I've got today. Definitely need a coffee as well because I've been doing some long hours in the last few days, so it's much needed. So a massive thanks to Y Food for sponsoring today's video, and let's go back to the RS3 and get the Mechatronics out. Right, so that's now the gearbox fully drained. So what we've got to do now is put our little level indicator back in. You do not want to be forgetting to put that back in. There we go. And then I'll just put my little one back in on the side. And then we should be in a position just to, I think it's only 4 bolts to take this cover off. Pop off now. There we go. I think. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. There she be. Come on, if you can. Right, there looks to be about 5 or 6 T30 bolts and a few clips that we're going to have to undo. So I'm going to undo the bolts first. Oh my god. Yeah, it was just a case of pull it out. So here we have both Mechatronics. There is the old one I've just removed, and here is the new one. Looking at both of them, they look identical. I can't really see a difference, but I'm not going to show you around this one because I don't want to jinx it and pick it out and drop it or anything like that. They're quite fragile, so just here is the unit. It's quite heavy. It's quite a heavy old unit. Probably weighs, I don't know, I'm going to go 5-6 kilos. It's fairly heavy, but I mean, looking at it, it looks fine. I mean, it only faulted when it warmed up. I don't think I'm going to see anything obvious wrong with it, so I'll just stick the new one in. Literally, once I'd removed, there's about six or seven bolts, and then there was a clip at the top here. You can see up here, look, there's a clip here, and then the whole thing just literally popped forward and fell off. So the new one comes with all new seals. So when I say seals, I mean these seals here. So it's got all new ones of them, and it's also got the seal for the electrical connector as well, this one here. So they are all in position, ready to go already. I'm actually just going to put a little bit of, just to guide it in. It's really loose actually, isn't it? It's even looser than the old one. Not look at that. Now, fitting is just the exact opposite of removal, so I'm hoping it's going to be fairly straightforward from now on in. So, let's go. Oh, there we go, she's in, and I did the classic, didn't have a screw ready, so hopefully I am tall enough to reach. Yes, we're good. So that is the Mechatronics all in. It all went fairly simple in the end. Do you remember when I said I thought that was a dent? Because it actually looks like a dent, doesn't it? But no, that's actually fully designed. So the Mechatronics, or the case for the Mechatronics, was actually never damaged. There's only this tiny little bit here, look. But after looking at it, it's nothing at all. It's just the lip here, look, all that's happened is the lip's bent back. It wasn't leaking any fluid at all. It hasn't affected the seal at all. It's literally just bent down so it's flat. I didn't want to mess around bending it back because I didn't want to mess around with the structure, or not the structure, but the trueness of the casing. I didn't want to try and bend that back, and by doing that put a kink here and it starts leaking. So I thought it wasn't leaking before, so it's not going to be leaking now, so I thought I'd leave it. It's not doing any harm. But that is the casing all on, all Mechatronic bolts on, casing now bolted on, and I've also just put my, if you can see it here, where's my, let me get my torch. So if you can see in there, there's a clip here, look, see that metal clip at the top there? That clip there just supports your wiring from the Mechatronics to the outside of the gearbox, so that just keeps that from that keeps that seal tight, so it doesn't leak any fluid. And then obviously you can plug in your Mechatronics plug at the top there, which is all done. So now it's just a case of putting everything back together, starting with the cage that goes over that, and then I can then bolt on my pipes, coolant pipes, brackets, etc. Right, so my adapters for the gearbox have just turned up. I bought a little set in the end for Multitronic, certain types of DSG, and also our main one, which I've just found an adapter for down here, look. So this is the one that we'll be using, and as you can see, let me just put these down. Right, so we have two main ways of doing this. You can either let gravity fill the gearbox up with oil, so basically you would put the bung in, put the tool in the bottom of the gearbox here. You'd have a hose that goes and filters up and hangs off the bonnet, or hangs off the bonnet normally, and then you gravity feed all the oil into the gearbox. That takes a while, or you can do it the only way that I've managed to, which is pump it in. So as you can see, I couldn't find any pipe long enough or anything that would actually fit to gravity feed the fluid in, so I'm going to use my little pump, and I've managed to find, I've used a bit of old airline, look, cut a bit of the airline off, and I've also found it was the lid to the silicone. It ended up being a perfect reducer, so it fit into the airline end, and I've just cut the other end off that fits on my pump end, and I'm going to pump the oil in. So that should hopefully be quicker, and I'm hoping it's not going to leak. So I've got my 6 litres of oil here, but what I'll do is I'll just keep pumping until it literally won't take any more oil and it starts flowing back down, and then we know that it's got enough in it. So probably going to stick 5 in and check it, and then the last one, yeah, it should take all 6 though, because we had the Mechatronics unit out. Right, I'm all attached. Got the first litre in. Hopefully this works. Right. Beautiful, look at that. No leaks from your little lid. Right, as it's not leaking, there's nothing to see here, so I'll skip forward when all 6 litres have gone in, unless there's a problem on the way. The filling quantity for this gearbox is 5.5 litres, and then what we've got to do is run the engine, and then we have to go through the gears, park, neutral, reverse, sport, doesn't really matter sport, but back into park, and then with the engine running, we have to then check the level again. Because we had the Mechatronics out, there's going to be a little bit more oil that needed to go in. Not much, probably a couple of 100 mil. So what I've done, I've put 5.8 litres in, and as you can see, if you can see, I've put a little bolt in the bottom of my little bung just to hold the fluid in, because the fluid is coming out, because obviously the gearbox hasn't run, so there's no oil all around the gearbox. So at the minute, the level's probably too high, so we need to start the engine up, circulate the oil around the gearbox, and then hopefully it'll stop coming out here, and then the level will be right. Now I can't remember if I showed you before, but the filter for the gearbox is this, in this housing here, look. So I already cracked it off for when we change the fluid, so this should literally just pull off. Here's a nice new one, look, and that can go on. Right, I'll just nip that up with a spanner, and then I'll put my airbox back on and we'll start her up. Right, I've just recycled the ignition and my P is flashing on the dash again. So yeah, we just need to do a basic setting, which I knew already. We don't have a coding problem, so we just got to do a basic setting, but that shouldn't stop me from starting it, hopefully. Cycle the gearbox. Right, I've just gone reverse, neutral, drive, neutral, reverse, back to park, holding it in each one for 3 seconds just to circulate the oil around the gearbox. I now have to let the gearbox get up to temperature between 35 and 45 degrees. I'll just wait till it gets to 35, it'll probably take 15 minutes idling on the ramp. And then what we do is we'll put it back in the air and we'll take our drain, take our little adapter out, and if any fluid comes out, that means the level is correct. Just a little bit of fluid can come out, that means the level is correct. If nothing comes out, that means we've got to put some more oil in. So I'll catch you back in a minute when we're at 35 degrees. There you go, as you can see there, transmission up to 36, that is within our window. Right, there we go, none has come out, so therefore we need to put a little bit more in, which took about an extra 150 mil in the end. So as you can see, we've got VCDS. I'm just sat in the car now, and as you can see, look, we've got P flashing on the dash. So we're going to now hop over to VAGCOM and we're going to get our basic settings up. Right, so hopefully this will work nice and easy. So it's just a case of basic settings, and then basic setting of transmission, go, and it should just tell me to do stuff. Aborted safety reasons, fantastic. Right, okay, this is where the problems began. Last night I was trying to basically set the gearbox. You just saw an error message that come up saying it was aborted due to safety reasons. Now, I've tried absolutely everything to get it to do the basic setting. All parameters are met, I had everything spot on, I've done all my research, but it turns out that there's no specific procedure for the DSG basic setting on the OBH DQ500 gearbox. I have done a basic setting on it before, however, because we've replaced the Mechatronics, it's a little bit more in depth than just doing a basic setting, if you will. So it turns out that VAGCOM cannot do the basic setting on this once you've replaced the Mechatronics, which means I'll need to use Odis, which is the dealer level tool, which means I cannot finish the video off as I would like. It is now Saturday morning. I can't get access to an Odis today or even this weekend. So unfortunately, that means the car is not going to be finished or 100%, because at the minute it won't drive. Once you put it in D, it just does nothing, it just revs like it's in neutral park. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to get it loaded on a transporter. I'm going to have to go down to Audi and get it, do the basic setting using Odis, which is very annoying. Seems like drive them in, push them out at the minute, but unfortunately that's where we're at. So now, in my last video, I said I was giving away a Carly adapter. In this video, I'm just going to reveal the winner. I'm going to pin it to the top of my comments. Now, I didn't know a fairer way to do it than get my 3-year-old son to actually scroll through and click the person who's going to win it on my behalf. So you know it's fair enough like that. So you'll see the next clip in a second now. He's gone through, he's selected it, and I'm going to pin the person that won it to the top. And what I will need them to do is email me. If you go onto my about page on my YouTube homepage, you'll see my email address there. I need the winner to email me, and I want you to prove that that username is yours. So I don't want just anyone messaging me pretending that's them. I want a screenshot of your channel with that username at the top, please. Right, I'm just going to scroll through here. You just say stop, okay?
Okay.
Tell me when. When do you want to stop?
Stop.
Stop. Right, okay. Now you pick one. You pick one of them. No, pick one of the comments. That one. Oh, well done. There you go. So, congratulations to the winner. Thank you very much. I'll pin that comment to the top in my last video now, and I'll send you your free Carly adapter. And right, that's it for today's video, guys. RS3 stuck. We drove it in. We're going to push it out. That's how I roll at the minute, apparently. So, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.